Okay, people, Uncle Nabil, I'm still away. So here are some of the best moments of Nabil Knows 2024. And I will see you in January next year. So, the people them are complaining about the early release. Who would have thought that just arresting people over bullshit charges and putting them in jail would eventually backfire? I mean, they're opening mega prisons, but I guess they can't fill them up fast enough. I don't know. Now, some people are upset because a lot of inmates are being put in hotels. Same hotels they put Schrodinger's migrants. You know, the ones that steal all the jobs while not working and claim the benefits. Those migrants are now in these same hotels. Where do you think the money is coming from to pay for them being in prison? At one point, it cost £36,000 a year to keep inmates in jail. I think it now costs closer to £80,000 a year to keep people in jail, which is hugely ironic when you consider the fact that most people in prison are in prison for financial reasons, except of course if they're white middle class, in which case they're probably a nonce. But what statistics in it? Fucking grooming gangs coming over here stealing our victims, yeah. Like 30 members of the EDL were caught being Nazis. They didn't say anything. But when a foreigner does it, then it's a problem. This boy in Southport kills a bunch of kids. Oh, how dare you come and kill our children? Only white nurses like Lucy let me. Anyway, topic for another day. But yeah, I'm just joking about the white middle class nonsense going to prison. They don't go to prison. They get suspended sentences. Hey, I didn't say anybody's name. But you know who I'm talking about. You know it. You know. But no, that aside, unless we bring back the wiping of criminal records, prisons are a waste of time. You know, because all you're doing is creating more crime. Why? Because guys go into jail, come out, they're unable to get jobs, so they have to commit even more crimes. The guy that runs Simpsons taking over prisons is a good idea if he agrees to hire ex-offenders. Although there is something about teaching criminals how to make locks and change them, but that can go all kinds of wrong. So here's the thing, a recent study has come out and it basically says that most of you are raising. Now, here's the thing, I grew up in northern Nigeria. One of the great things about my childhood, we got to experience fun fear. We would walk down the street and get chased by dogs. A dog behind you makes you move at warp speed. I cleared some fences in my day. I fell off of trees. We would have the local mad person that was just on the street. There'll just be some guy. I think that's probably why we misunderstand mental health. Because here, you can like, oh, I feel a bit sad, I've got mental health. Whereas in Nigeria, mental health is there's a guy on the street talking to himself with his underwear on his head eating grass.
Hey man, big dog, I need you, big dog, boy, look here. Boy, I need you bad, man.
There was one near our street called Bobo. As kids, a fun thing to do would be to get close enough to Bobo that he would chase you and then run off. And it was terrifying and exhilarating. Don't judge us. We didn't have roller coasters. I've been chased by a crocodile. I've been chased by crazy people. I've experienced genuine fear in my life. And for that reason, when scary things happen in real life, I don't freeze. I'm used to fear. Whereas most kids that have grown up in this over-sanitized, health and safety conscious, homogenized, every child gets a medal era that we live in now, have never experienced genuine terror and fear. So the moment something bad happens in an emergency, a lot of adults freeze because you didn't grow up having to deal with fear. So what I do is I watch horror movies with my kids. One of my favorite movies of all time is Stephen King's It. The first ever novel that I read was It by Stephen King, and I was 9. And, you know, it didn't have any impact on my mental health. P. Diddy has been arrested with enough oil to make the US Army want to invade his house. Why do these accusations all come so much later in a man's career? Why is it now that all of this is coming to light? But hey, it's a slippery slope. Can you imagine being a rapper in the 90s and you had to choose between Suge Knight dangling you out of a window and threatening you, or P. Diddy? No wonder Tupac went from...
I had a cold, so they were making me work in a freezer. And I'm really not one to be disrespected, and I felt like that was disrespectful because I had to go, you know. So I quit.
To this.
Yeah, just on my you know the hoes wanna rob me and my other homies out here like Spike Lee.
Why are we still not seeing Ghislaine Maxwell's list of people who attended Epstein Island? I don't know, I just think something is fishy. It almost makes me wonder, who did he piss off and how? Imagine being P. Diddy's cellmate. In other news, David Carrick, a Fed police officer, pig, whatever you want to call him, is going to jail for 30 years for being a serial. And surprise, surprise, other police officers didn't do enough to investigate him. Wow, I'm so shocked. What, really? Police officers didn't investigate one of their own properly? A police officer was using his power to harm those that are vulnerable? What, women? Oh no, say it ain't so. If this has never happened before. Wayne Cousins has never happened before. Oh my goodness. If I didn't know any better, I'd swear this is some kind of repeating problem. I mean, I remember years ago when Wayne Cousins, when the Sarah Everard thing happened, I said loads of police officers get away with stuff like this. And every gammon and flag shagger on Twitter, which would later become X, came for me saying, oh, that's not true. Look. And where are these patriots? Where are the EDL pro protect the children? Where are they? Oh, deport them. Okay, where are we deporting this police officer to then? I'm telling you, we need to police the police. There needs to be more done, but people don't listen. Wow, loads of complaints were made about the police officer and nobody did anything. Oh no, Habibi, say it's not so. I'm so shocked. Who would have thought turning a dark psychological thriller into a musical is not a good idea?
Ew! Dude! What the fuck?
Why do you guys have to make everything moist? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I swear that's what Einstein or Shakespeare said. It's supposed to be dark. A psychotic killer who has a sad, tragic turn that drives him insane. And you know what? Some exec says, you know what would be amazing? Jazz hands. Seriously, there must be some kind of mission to sabotage DC. They messed up Snyder with his Justice League. Joker came like, okay, you know what, we like this. This is realism. It's dark. It's amazing. All the things that made Joker good, they've gone and they've twisted. I don't get it. Deadpool and Wolverine, that is how you make a movie based on comic book characters. What next are they going to turn into a musical? Star Wars? Fucking Batman? The Phantom of the Opera. It's terrible. What were you thinking? I bet they were high-fiving each other in the boardroom when they came up with the ideas. Oh, yeah, man. Oh, yeah. That's exactly what we need. Musical numbers, okay? We're gonna get Harley Quinn to do a falsetto. So, the Bora Festival in Nigeria celebrates the birth of twins. Nigeria has the highest rate of twins, especially in this part of Nigeria. And we've always said it's due to yam enzyme. Scientists say that's not true. And we say they should shut up and mind their business. All these countries that are having problems with their population now, like Japan, I think is it Korea, holla at your boy. I mean, God clearly wants more Nigerians, which is scary. Can you imagine a world with even more Nigerians? My spam box would be full of it. Anyway, I can make that joke, you can't. Buying cheap clothes has never been dangerous. And yes, I know that's not a real word, but I'm making it up because I'm the modern day Shakespeare. Someone ordered some boots from Shein and found a scorpion. The amount of online shopping my wife does, I wish someone would send a scorpion to our house. Maybe that would make us look down. I can't even take a nap during the day without some asshole Amazon flipping delivery driver banging on my door. The National Center for Reptile Welfare said that this sort of thing is extremely common. But my response to that would be, scorpions aren't a reptile. Why are you talking to the Center for Reptile Welfare when you've got an arachnid? That's right, an arachnid, not an insect. Okay, and I just want to say, stop mislabeling spiders and scorpions as insects, because arachnids have 8 legs and insects have 6. Okay?
Nerd.
Mike AMsbury. That is my favorite British politician right now. This guy was running his mouth to Mike AMsbury, and Mike hit him with a classic cross. Finally, a Labour Party member shows some conviction. A Labour Party member that I can relate to as a person. We have all at least wanted to smack the shit out of someone for running their mouth. This guy shows way more integrity than any other Labour Party out there, because at least from this video we can confirm that he is indeed a lefty, because every single punch he threw was from the southpaw stance and he connected. Our guy Mike, aka Iron Mike, has been suspended. If that was a Tory, all the Tories would come together and defend him for what he did. Labour's in power now, not because they beat the Tories, but because the Tories lost. How are you going to suspend the guy for defending himself? What you do is you don't respond, you say we're investigating the matter, and then you settle out of court. Kemi Niger girl Badenoch. I mean, she's not Nigerian anymore. We've rescinded her nationality. She's now a Ghanaian. I should be happy that Kemi has emerged as the leader of this party, which means we could have a Nigerian woman, well, allegedly Nigerian woman, leading the UK eventually. The only way she wins is if Tories overcome their own prejudice. Because, I mean, they were calling Rishi Sunak the P word.
Hello guys, it's Jovan, and you know what time it is? Disco time!
He said his favourite meal was sandwiches.
My favourite meal generally is sandwiches, so that is my favourite. I'm a big sandwich person.
And they still didn't like him. If they didn't like his ass, how are they going to deal with Kemi Badenoch? How? The only reason that she could actually win an election is if Conservatives can just get over themselves enough to actually vote to be led by a black woman, which would be fantastic, because then we can call them all woke. Ha ha! Your DEI woke bollocks, right? Got a black woman leading the party. That'll be, you know what? I actually hope she does become Prime Minister, just so that I control them and call them woke for a change. They're always in my fucking comments, man. Seriously, you guys get a life. Google has been fined 2 undecillion rubles by Russia in a totally not biased Russian court.
It's payback time.
I love Russia, bro. That they love me. Big up the Kremlin and all my KGB massive. You could divide a decillion and pay each person on Earth money and they'd all live happier than Elon Musk. Just because the Russians are pissed off, they charge them double of this amount and said that they'll double it every day until Google.
Me personally, I wouldn't take this level of disrespect.
Like, what is this supposed to be? Russian reparations? The only way this works is if, like, Russian currency is really shit, like the Nigerian naira at the moment. And, like, maybe all of that, like, all that money works out to, like, £5,000, and, like, with a decillion rubles, you could just about afford a single burger meal. Because otherwise, that's crazy, even for Russia. That's bordering on North Korea crazy. Birds. You know, I'm not gonna lie though, some of them storms are scary, because like I was walking down the street and I was wearing like a big hoodie and it turned into like a parachute and it was blowing me around the street, and I thought to myself, wow, if this wind is blowing me around the street, what's it doing to like regular sized people or like smaller people, you know?
And don't swim in the sea. Incredibly, people have been spotted in the water here in Blackrock and Salthill both today and yesterday.
Victim weight. Now, if you're wondering what victim weight is, if you're a grown man and you weigh less than 200 pounds, that's fucking victim weight. It shouldn't be easy for one person to stuff you into a van. You need to eat some carbs. That's what you need. No, but storms are scary, man. And, you know, more and more of these things are happening, and I'm guessing it's because that thing I think the hippies and vegetarians call global warming. And on the topic of global warming, we have the COP29 verdict, which has angered a lot of people in the developing world. I mean, to be fair, the developing world has enough stuff to be angry about. After years of delaying procedures and so on, they've settled on a figure that they're going to pay. But when they will pay it is up in the air, and a lot of it will be in the form of loans. Because when have loans ever been damaging to the developing world? I would say about 90% of the pollution in the world that is altering the weather comes from a small number of countries. To make up for it, they're going to give the countries most affected by this pollution money that they will have to pay back in interest. As well as, you know, the fact that these countries are already in debt because of banking systems that were given to them, forced on them, Libya. And the reality is this: while those of us in the Western world don't care about what's happening in the rest of the world where our resources come from, when the catastrophe hits, we actually will deal with it the worst, because people in developing countries are already used to floods. That's why they were able to wipe out the pandemic so quickly in countries like Nigeria and Congo, because they're used to dealing with these things. They're used to dealing with catastrophes. When those things start to visit us, we will not be ready. It will be biblical, like Sodom and Gomorrah, except we'll be able to record it. BandAid, all they do is spread misconceptions about Africa and the true nature of Africa's problems, whilst lining their own pockets. Like my friend Fuse said himself, it stops people from wanting to invest in Africa. And it's funny because the last time I was on a plane to Nigeria, only a quarter of the people on the plane were Nigerian. It was English and Chinese people on their way there to go and make investments. What they do is they stop the diaspora from wanting to go to Africa by putting all these negative images and portrayals of Africa on TV, killing our tourism and other forms of revenue. But then they go in and take advantage of this, get our resources for cheap, whilst polluting our country. Look at the plight of the people in the Niger Delta, for example. There was a time when all you had to do when you were fishing in the Niger Delta was run a basket through a small body of water, and you get periwinkles, fish, and all sorts. Now the people of the Niger Delta can't even do that. But oh, here comes Geldof. Fuck you, Geldof. Dude sounds like a fucking wizard. Why don't you magic us that money? BandAid pisses me off. You know what else annoys me? All these dipshits that want to raise money for charity, so they're going to run or lie in a tub full of baked beans. Because just giving us the money isn't enough. Why are you running? Why are you running 10 kilometers for? The person you're doing that has to walk 20 to get water. If you really care, just send the money. No. I want to show a brave feat. In fact, you know what? The running thing isn't even so bad. It's the baked beans thing I don't get. So there's a bunch of people hungry, so you're going to waste food and lie in it for a couple hours so that people pay you money to do this. Like, this is some very bizarre voyeurism.
When do we need food? When we're hungry.
Meanwhile, people are starving. Like, charity isn't charity anymore. If we really care about what's happening in Africa, what we need to do is simple. We need to have the debts written off because they were put there unfairly. And I mean, if the people that we owe this money to, England, America, no, if these countries are all in debt, who are they in debt to? How does that work? How are we in debt to people who are also in debt? Where is all the money going? Who's taking the money? So, newsflash, people don't like Keir Starmer. What? No. There's been a petition for him to basically sort off and want to do a recount. I mean, I don't know how legit this petition is because a lot of the people who have signed it aren't even in the UK, which again makes sense. I'm sure like half of those people were Elon Musk. But that aside, I mean, what is it about racists from other countries taking such a huge interest in British politics? But I'm not to say that everyone who hates Keir Starmer is a racist, for example, because, okay, I'm racist too, and I hate Keir Starmer. But that aside, there's just something about him that doesn't sit right. The man just has no personality. I just think right now, Labour is so conceited, and Keir Starmer is the poster boy for conceit. And also, he looks like the poster boy for constipation. Just look at him, he looks like he's backed up. That's why he's so full of shit. He hasn't taken one in weeks. Just look at him, look how bloated he is. I've never seen anyone that looks like that before. He just has that smug look on his face like, I can clench my butthole for 4 months. Yeah, it's fine. Look at me. Yeah, I like it. When I let it go, I'm going to lose 10 pounds at once. He just has that about him. I don't know. This government is not going to last long. I see them losing. But the question is, who to? We might have the first party to rule us in a long time that was neither Labour nor Tory. It sounds crazy, but crazier things have happened. Remember, the 1930s are not that far back from us. Fringe parties have been known to take advantage of people's frustration and spring into power. It has happened, and it wasn't that long ago, guys. It was not that long ago. Keir Starmer, please fix up or step down. Get somebody more charismatic than yourself to at least make us believe that your party is trying to do something for the people. Bashar al-Qalb, sorry, I mean Bashar al-Assad. Little Arabic insult for all my Habibis and Habibtis out there. Anyway, yeah, Bashar al-Assad has been ousted. This guy's actions gave rise to, the Arab Spring, and his actions gave rise to all kinds of pandemonium across the Levant. We had the artist formerly known as ISIS, who started their boy band. Have you ever been in a bar fight before? One guy shoves your friend, you hit him, his friend hits you. Now a bunch of other guys run in who don't like the guy that hit you, they don't even know you. They start fighting that guy. Then people who are related to that, and then next thing you know, it's a huge brawl and everybody is getting hit. That's kind of like what's happened in the Levant, Bashar al-Assad was not a very good man. Forces got up to try and resist him. People from among those forces, some of whom were spies and some of whom were agent provocateurs paid by certain countries I won't mention, They came in, and Syria became a cluster for a number of years, giving rise, people freed from Guantanamo Bay, which was an illegal prison in the first place in Abu Ghraib, ended up joining ISIS because they'd been radicalized over there, and many of them were innocent before that happened. So next thing you know, it just becomes a free-for-all of different ideologies and murder. Also, I'm on tour February 15th, Urban Batuta. Links available on my website. Please come see me live. I promise you, it's much better than this. And this is a side project. The real thing is the stand-up. I'm very good at standing up. Trust me, better than Viagra. Why you not buy? Buy ticket now, please. I'm so many hungry. Oh my God. Please come to show. It's gonna be funny. You will be so laughed. And we are done. Thank you for watching. That will be our final episode of Nabil Knows for the year. I'm going away. I need a break, but I'll be back. So once again, thank you so much for everything. Please continue to like, share, subscribe, and let me know what you think in the comments down below. And I'll see you next year. Enjoy your festivities during the winter solstice for those of you that observe and partake in them. And I'll see you soon.